No, I didn't get blocked by AOC. Ben Shapiro talked about you in Hogwarts Legacy for the first 7 minutes of his stream today. I added onto the playlist, FYI. You were right. He is a LSF Andy now. There is 0% chance that this talked about me.
The woke left goes after Hogwarts Legacy for the supposed transphobia of Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling. Matt Walsh humiliates a Democratic legislator over child gender views on places like Metacritic. However, some fans and gamers are boycotting the game in protest of J.K. Rowling because, of course, she has said that men are men and women are women. Some popular game review sites like Kotaku, Polygon, and Eurogamer have not yet reviewed Hogwarts Legacy despite the review embargo lifting on Monday. Others have denounced J.K. Rowling's comments and voiced support for transgender people in their reviews. Jesse Earl, one trans YouTuber and writer, tweeted in December that unlike consuming previously owned Harry Potter books or films, purchasing Hogwarts Legacy while Rowling is, quote, using her ongoing platform to target and also justify her continued targeting of trans people is hateful to trans people. Rowling responded, accusing her of pure think.
Why are you, a deeply religious man, all of a sudden advocating for witchcraft, which is inherently satanic? He's like, witchcraft is fine as long as it's a transphobic person that's advocating for said witchcraft. If it triggers trans people, then I'm on board with it. What's up with this, Ben? Why are you pro witchcraft, motherfucker? This is some heretical bullshit, dude. What the hell? You're an idiot. Satanism is religious. Wait, what? You think Ben Shapiro considers Satanism to be a real religion? He doesn't even think Islam is a real religion, dog. You fucking crazy? He can't say shit. His side was boycotting M&Ms. Yeah.
Some streamers on Amazon-owned Twitch platforms, including Will Overguard and Nicotine, have publicly voiced opposition to the game. And the idea here is that we have to make sure that no one engages in a game because the creator of the game does not agree with you on a very radical point of view. All of this, despite the fact, by the way, that apparently there is a transgender character in the game. I'm not kidding you. Apparently, Hogwarts Legacy actually does have a transgender character named Serona Ryan, is according to Forbes. That, by the way, would be the middle managers at Warner Brothers deciding that in order to avoid the flack, they're simply going to give in to the woke left. But Serona
give in to the woke left. I know it's a religion. Shut up, chatters.
They have it in Hogsmeade Village, an NPC that the player can speak to. Serona doesn't outright say she is a trans woman, but she implies it through her dialogue when she talks about her old classmates and says, took them a second to realize I was actually a witch, not a wizard. Now, is that going to buy off the woke left? Of course it's not going to buy off the woke left. Of course not. They're still angry. And one of the people who is, I think, most hilariously involved in this controversy now is Hasan Piker. He used to be associated with the Young Turks, and now he is...
Stop! Get my fucking name out of your goddamn mouth, Ben. Do not go there. No!
A gamer who declares himself a socialist while buying himself mansions. Really good socialist, Hasan Piker. He's doing some good stuff this week, by the way. He actually donated a bunch of money to victims.
He literally did the same thing. It's like socialism means no mansion. The fuck? Dude, anyone who considers themselves a social democrat or a leftist on the internet, if you are repeating what fucking Ben Shapiro is saying as a, sorry, the Hammer and Sickle Twitter folks that love farming drama so they can get some get like 8 new people to listen to their fucking Substack, okay? You're doing the same shit he's doing because it is right-wing propaganda to claim that socialism is a fucking poverty cult, okay? It is about your relations to the means of production. It is not about, oh, this person is rich and I kind of don't like him, so I guess fuck that guy. Anyway, we got to get Ben off LSF for real, man. It's been his bread and butter for the past 10 days. I know. He's like literally watching LSF like fucking Dick Serto. He's using LSF talking points.
Of the Turkish earthquake. And then he also did some stupid stuff, which is sort of what he normally does. He announced that he is not going to play Hogwarts Legacy. And the reason he's not going to play Hogwarts Legacy is not because he is in principled fashion.
Fucking god damn it, dude.
And angry that J.K. Rowling is such a transphobe. He's not going to do it because he says he's a coward. Which, okay, I mean, points for honesty.
This is how I literally got fucking ass blasted by everyone involved in this argument. Me saying, I don't want to fucking play this game because it's not worth the headache, even though originally I wanted to do a fundraiser around it because I understand the space and I understand how popular this game was going to be. So I knew that it was inevitable that the boycott efforts were not going to work, means that I have a difference in opinion, okay, with some of the louder trans voices in the space who wanted to boycott it, okay? That is a difference in opinion. Now, of course, what was going to happen inevitably happened. People focused their attention on me and got mad at me because I was speaking as a cis ally over trans voices, which Doesn't matter. Yes, I was speaking over trans people as a cis ally, not as a cis ally, but as someone who understands the space better than you. That's it. Okay? That's it. That's just the truth. I understand the streaming space better than you do. Most of the people that are chirping on Twitter don't understand it, and that's fine because you have better shit to do. You don't understand the streaming space. You don't understand the gaming space as well, and that's fine. That's why a lot of people made valuable criticism that fell on deaf ears, like, why don't you play a different game and raise money? That's not about fucking, playing any game. The point was to take the narrative and shift it into a direction that was positive because it was inevitable that it was going to be successful. But it doesn't matter. We have a difference in agreement on how to protest in that regard, okay? And everyone got very upset, and that's okay. It's not going to change my convictions. It's not going to change my mentality. I'm not going to be like a why I left the left type motherfucker, okay? Because I have a backbone. And anyone that says that this is a grift is hilarious, especially if you're trans and you're like, this guy's doing like allyship points for a grift. Are you stupid? Do you not know how much more successful it is to just be transphobic? Matt Walsh exists. Ben Shapiro exists. These are multi-million-dollar platforms that almost entirely disseminate anti-trans propaganda. Please, for the love of God, if you're a trans person, you know this better than anyone else. Check yourself before you fucking tweet dumb shit like that. And it's fine. I understand why you're mad because everyone is against you. I understand why you're mad because legislation is against you. But trust me, there is no clout to be had by defending trans people, just like there's no clout to be had by defending marginalized communities. There's no clout to be had by being a fucking socialist. Your life is bullshit when you do this. It's awful. Hence why I don't do it for the clout. I do it because I believe in it, okay? Jesus Christ. We're not that far removed from Steven motherfucking Crowder getting a $50 million deal and casting it aside, and everybody forgot about it. They're like, you're doing it for the clout. Yeah, dude, it's so clouded. It's so sick. I love having internal arguments, intra-community arguments on a daily basis over minor disagreements, dude. It is the best. I love looking like a fucking fool to the right wing as one of the most prominent voices on the fucking left every goddamn day as they laugh at us and go, lol, look at how fucking stupid you are. You made your bed. Now you have to sleep in it. This is what happens when you cultivate a woke audience. That's literally what everyone fucking says all the goddamn time. No one does this shit because it's really exciting and is a good way to make money. There are infinitely better ways to make money. I saw some ex-fans saying that you were inciting hatred against trans people. Yeah, I know. Because people are fucking unhinged and emotions go high. Emotions are, emotions inflame people and make them say things that they might not even fucking believe 3 seconds after they press send tweet. Okay?
Here, Hasan.
Only reason why I'm not playing this game, and I know a bunch of other people are not playing this game, is because we know that it's not worth it to get bullied endlessly and called transphobic endlessly when we have massive queer communities and audiences. That's it. Everybody knows how much leftist motherfuckers love to chirp on the internet. They got no power. All they do is chirp. Yeah. It comes from a place of powerlessness, which I'm right on. I stand by that, okay? Straight up, chirp. And that's precisely why so many fucking people that would otherwise play it, maybe even raise money for, charities or whatever, they're not doing it.
Okay, it's kind of an amazing thing to go on your own show and then just admit that you're a coward and that you won't say the thing.
So, this is so stupid. This is me having a conversation with my audience about how leftists should conduct themselves. This is not something that you should turn into fucking agitated propaganda by saying you're a fucking coward. It's if anything, it's the opposite of being a coward. Right-wingers, if they had any fucking comprehension, would look to this and go, you know what? He's actually cleaning house, quote unquote, by staying true to his opinions and literally fucking mentioning that the reason why I'm not doing this, even though I had a good strategy, in my opinion, and I still stand by that, to protest or to turn the fucking, to turn the conversation towards J.K. Rowling being transphobic in a positive manner to a broader audience as a media personality who understands the space better than you. I'm sorry, that's just the fucking truth, guys. Holy shit. Okay? And standing true to my opinion and openly stating it and openly using this as an opportunity to be like, this was wrong. Let's not do this again next time. Okay? Let's not do this again next time. Ben turns around and fucking says he's a coward. If I'm cowardly, I would just say, oh my God, I'm such a good ally. I'm such a good ally. That's why I'm not playing the fucking game, because I literally believe that like consumer side decentralized boycotts are totally valid and totally effective. And I care about your point of view and I care about your opinions. That's not the case. I've built a community that is trans positive, that also is a safe space for trans people, not to this degree that you expect from your fucking furry Discord group, of course, because there's still an educational component here. But on top of that, I think that this is an adequate way to fucking market and to bring more awareness. I don't need to play this game. I don't play video games in general, okay? I do cultural commentary over certain video games, this game being one of them, of course. But that is precisely why I wanted to do what I was doing, okay? If I was a coward, I would have just said, you guys are so right. I have no convictions. I have no opinions on consumer boycotting. I have no opinion on like decentralized activism of this magnitude, of this sort, that was demonstrably going to fail, but I, still think that it's okay. That's not what I did. I openly stated what I was angry about, and I got fucked for it. And people screamed about how transphobic I was. And I understand why people got mad and upset, okay? I get it. I totally understand it. I'm not even mad at all the trans people that were upset at me saying I'm transphobic, fake allyship, whatever. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to me, okay? My goal is not to have a larger trans audience. My goal is to have a large audience of fucking normies who are not transphobic, okay? That inevitably leads to one of the largest trans audiences on the fucking internet. 13% of this goddamn community is fucking trans, okay? Because this is a space for entertainment and education. And my overarching goal always is to get normies to not be transphobic. If you're a trans person, you're already not transphobic. You've already gone through that 4chan groiper phase and you're no longer transphobic. You recognize that you're trans, okay? So it's not for you. I agree with you. Pretty sure the trans people don't want to be patronized. I mean, some do, because it's not a monolith. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, if you know anything about trans communities online, you know the one fundamental rule is that like no two trans people can agree on the same thing ever. And if you disagree on anything, even in a minor capacity, it's all out warfare, okay? Other than the fact that Matt Walsh is a piece of shit and, does not deserve a platform, nor I'm not going to say anything else. Okay. And other things like that. But like, that's the point. And it's stupid. It's like really, really fucking, it's really, really silly to like constantly reinforce narrative. But it does make me very upset when fucking Ben Shapiro uses as an opportunity to cut propaganda to be like, look, this fucking woke idiot made his own bed and now he has to sleep in it. It's like, yeah, bitch, I know. That's why I'm not a fucking grifter, okay? Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying all the fucking time. Yeah, it's the truth. It is very annoying. And yes, I wouldn't have to deal with any of this shit if I was a right-wing commentator, okay? But I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I was a right-wing commentator. That's the difference. Anyway, it's okay though. It's like a lot of times when this stuff gets taken out of context is when it leaves the intended audience. That conversation is supposed to be between me and some trans members in my community that were upset. Okay, that's it. But like, that's more so about a difference in opinion amongst people who universally agree on most values. Most important one being that like trans people should be left alone and should not be eviscerated by way of legislation or through stochastic terror. Okay, but of course that conversation leaves the intended audience and turns into fucking propaganda. That conversation leaves the intended audience. Holy fucking shit, man. Give it a rest. Okay. Suck my dick. Fuck you, idiot. In other words, I was a coward. No, that is the opposite. If I'm a fucking coward, I just say, a coward says things that they do not believe. You are not brave for playing a fucking wizard game that was intended for children. That's not bravery. Please get it out of your fucking head that it's super brave to play the fucking child's wizard game, bro. What the fuck? You're not brave for like, oh, I triggered the trans people. They have no power, okay? If they had any fucking power, they wouldn't be yelling at me. They'd be trying to like boycott the entire fucking platform, or they would be taking down the video game. But they have no systemic power. That's why they're fucking yelling at me. That was what I was saying. Your anger is understandable and justified. You're just misdirecting it, and whoever will listen to you, and that comes from a place of powerlessness. Understandable feelings of frustration, though, as a consequence of insane amounts of legislation being written in every fucking state by way of the state legislature that sidesteps democracy anyway, to fucking write you out of existence. Oh, but it doesn't matter. No matter how many times I describe this complex situation, people just literally see shapes and colors and don't listen to what I am saying. Okay? Oh.
Because you're so afraid of your own fan base. I mean, he literally said I'm
not afraid of my own fan base. If I was afraid of my own fan base, I would have just fucking literally said, oh my God, you guys are so right. You guys are so fucking right. I'm not playing this game because I think it's an act of solidarity, but I don't agree with that. And I can't shut the fuck up. The entire reason why everyone on the left on trans Twitter says I'm a transphobe and everyone on the right is saying I'm a fucking coward is literally because I'm the exact opposite, where if I don't agree with something, I just say it. I can't stop myself from fucking saying it, whether it be America deserving 9/11 or this, okay? That's the point.
The only reason he's not playing is because people who quote, quote, chirp, chirp, chirp are basically bullying him into not playing the game. Later, he tried to walk this one back. He went on Twitter. He said,
No, I didn't.
People who want to boycott the game aren't wrong to hate J.K. Rowling. She's awful. Except it's fruitless. No.
That's true. That's been my position since day one. Oh my God, he's clip chimping LSF fucking posts. He's watching LSF and he's clip chimping shit. I'm going to lose my mind.
No matter how much trans folks want to push for it. It's like trying to boycott Disney. Most people have no idea and don't care about J.K. Rowling at all. And they just want to go to Hogwarts. Okay, well, I mean, you may be...
I never walked back anything. Oh my God, he is becoming the most annoying type of fucking debate lord. Ben Shapiro has figured out the trick to get me to stop fucking watching his shit altogether. This is it.
Correct about the failure of the boycotts, but they've already won. By getting people like Hasan not to play the game, by bullying him, they've achieved their goal.
By the way, hey, to all the radlibs on Twitter that said these exact same words, you and Ben Shapiro are in agreement, because I saw this take a lot too from trans posters on Twitter who were like, it seems like our bullying is working because like you're not playing it. I'm like, no, you're not understanding the point. He is incapable of understanding the point because he's a fucking reactionary piece of shit who's also a transphobe. You should be able to at least have a fraction of charitability to be like, well, this guy doesn't have to be fucking non-transphobic. This guy probably would make more money being a fucking transphobe. He must be genuinely against transphobia. So I'm going to be a little bit more charitable when I say he has a difference in opinion in what kind of tactics we could be utilizing in this circumstance. Ooh.
Now, again, there is a massive gap that has now been exposed between the market, which hates wokeness, and the people who actually push the cultural window to the left. There is this huge gap because Hogwarts Legacy is dominating Twitch right now. According to Kotaku, the open world Harry Potter RPG is now the most popular game on the live streaming platform. So the market loves Hogwarts Legacy. And yet, all of the commentators and the gamers and all the people who are on the internet, the people like Hasan Piker, they're openly saying that it's not wrong to boycott it, that in fact, they themselves are not going to play the game out of pure fear of their own audiences. So
no, I'm not afraid of my audience. I don't care. I've made that very clear multiple times. If I was afraid of my audience, then I would not have said any of those things I said, which has inevitably ended up with, you can say yes, you are all you want, you fucking idiot. Why is it that so many people refuse to comprehend the most basic thing here? If I was afraid of my audience, you think I don't know how to act around their desires? People always fucking say, Hasan, he says whatever the most popular left-wing thing is. You think I don't know what the most popular leftist thing to say in that circumstance, what the expected thing to say is, to be a good ally, quote unquote? Shut the fuck up. I would say that instead. I'd be like, I'm so sorry. I think it's the right thing to do. At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You get 1 free Prime subscription a month, and you can also get gifted a sub. They're just clipping you, dude. That's why they're acting like they don't get it. I know. Anyway, 1 sandwich, please. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Kinda Orange, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Allowing 10 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Yes, I do this to lift my spirits. Yes, Ben Shapiro loves your loves your piker. Thank you for the 5 get the subs. Did that come to you in a moment's notice, or do you plan it in advance? No, it comes to me in a moment's notice, baby. When opportunity is hot, I strike, okay? Whew, and it does make me feel a lot better, to be honest. It's just like, it feels so good when I hit that segue. Oh, fuck, it feels good. Bro, honestly, souring your rant, you actually described how afraid you are of what people would say. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. If I was afraid of what people would say, I would literally fucking say the right thing. If I am, oh my God, you have to be deliberately obtuse. You cannot be this stupid. There is no way human beings are this fucking stupid. The irony is, I said I don't want the fucking headache, but because I can't shut the fuck up, I still said it. That it was like a bullshit piece of feckless and completely ridiculous boycott moment. Okay? I still said it. That's the point. Streamer says he's pro-trans, but is afraid of his trans audience. Curious? I'm not. Ism-ish, thank you for the 5 gifted. Photo Metal 17, thank you for the 5 gifted. Socialist Thug Jane, thank you for the 5 gifted. And the Jin, thank you for the 5 gifted. Okay? I don't know why people do not understand what I am saying. I think the point is you weren't proposing playing the game just for your own benefit and to do a fundraiser. I really like the idea of creating a huge PRL for J.K. Rowling, and it would have gotten huge media coverage while fundraising a huge bag of money for trans causes. Shame that it didn't happen. You understand concepts like earned media that regular chatters and worthless Twitter slacktivists don't. Exactly. Exactly. The problem is, because this space is just bullshit for a lot of people, I've thought about this a lot. What we do is just like seen as like silliness, right? And there is truth to that. What we do is silly. It might still be valuable to a lot of people who change their minds over the course of me fucking endlessly yelling at them and doing ad break segues and shit like that. But like from the outside, it's just like, oh, this silly bitch who's in a fucking mansion is like telling me, a trans person, what to do and what not to do. What do you know? Well, I know a few things. I didn't get to this position, okay, because I don't know anything. I got to the position I'm in because I at least have some understanding of fucking media and the space that I'm in, where I'm one of the top fucking performers. Like, God damn it, dude. And this is very much in my realm. That's it. Just show these brain dead chatters what you said yesterday. Stop trans. We need to find a meaningful way to stop trans legislation from passing at state legislatures. Right now, trans existence is being fucking erased. These psychopathic fascist dickheads are literally making it illegal to be trans in public with their anti-drag laws. They're making it illegal to give HRT to trans people. It is fucking disgusting. It's despicable. It's one of the most significant ongoing human rights violations that is happening in the United States of America. I've talked about it a lot. Jake, you're not afraid of us? You hate us? Okay, shut up. Stop making these jokes, please. Stop. Because people do legitimately think that. Anyway, about it a lot. J.K. Rowling isn't even transphobic for real. She just wants the definition of what it means to be a woman to be diminished. She's pro-women, not anti-trans. No, man, that's propaganda. She absolutely is anti-trans. Trans women are women. No, she 100% wants to fucking kill trans people, okay? Make no fucking mistake. Don't be ridiculous. Have you explained what J.K. Rowling has done financially as in anti-trans bills in detail, the LGB movement, and a whole litany of other TERF and TERF-adjacent movements in the UK? But the way to combat that is not by, like, monitoring people's consumption, especially if your monitoring of people's consumption is not followed up by, like, tangible counter movements. You know what I mean? If you just say, Harry Potter's written by a transphobe, so you're transphobic for watching it, and then leave it at that, you're not actually advancing something. For me, this is more about unsuccessful and successful protest movements and how people end up hyper-focusing or lasering in on certain things that otherwise are counterproductive. Anyway, if all you said was, I'm not playing the game, the end, 10,000 chatters every day would ask why. I know, but I could, you know, if there was, here's the thing, man. If I was cowardly, I would have just said, I'm not playing the game because of solidarity with trans people. That's it. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. Not saying that other people that are doing that are cowardly, by the way, because some people probably do think that that is the best way to show solidarity. Okay? I personally, on the other hand, don't believe that that is an adequate way to protest, and I can't fucking for the life of me shut the fuck up about it. Okay? That's it. That's literally it. I can't, and I won't. But that's partially why you appreciate what I do. Let's be real. Even when it sometimes pisses you off because you can't for the life of you understand where I'm coming from. Okay? How do you protest it? My goal originally is paired up with my assessment, okay? I knew that this was going to be the fucking Bangbusters release. I knew that it was going to be probably one of the highest, most popular games this year, if not definitely the most popular game. It broke records on pre-release, like before it was even out. The game's not even fully out yet, and it's already breaking records on Twitch. I knew that was going to fucking happen. So instead of trying to do a disorganized movement that basically fell on its fucking face, yeah, Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out. So obviously that will be number one. But the point is, instead of yelling at people and like coming across and like turning this into propaganda, because I knew that it was going to turn into propaganda, like the trans people are so crazy, like look at them yelling at everyone, bullying people, okay, shit like that. I thought that the best thing to do in this circumstance was instead to play the game and get a bunch of the top streamers who were going to play the game anyway to raise funds and to make people aware of J.K. Rowling's transphobia. People thought that was silly because we were putting money in J.K. Rowling's pocket. J.K. Rowling is not making she's not making a noticeable amount of money off this game. Okay? She's a fucking billionaire. And the IP itself is already removed almost entirely from transphobia. J.K. Rowling isn't like, oh man, can't wait for the fucking Harry Potter game to come out so I can, take all those funds and fund another movement, like fund another anti-trans piece of legislation. Like, that's silly. She already has more money than God. And on top of that, nobody keeps the same energy for all of the other avenues that Harry Potter touches. The only reason why we're just like hyper focusing on this game is because J.K. Rowling can't shut the fuck up. And that's really fucking annoying, on top of her being like a psychotic transphobe. There are plenty of psychotic transphobes that own shit, okay? J.K. Rowling, on top of that, is like impossible to shut the fuck up. She loves flexing it. Anyway, I can't shut the fuck up either, but at least my heart is in the right place. You participated in Twitch boycotts that you knew were feckless, so it's understandable you had enough of this unorganized style of boycotting. Exactly. Ding, ding, ding. That too. I can't like constantly make people feel good about themselves, even when I see something that they're doing that is a piece of activism that is going to be unsuccessful. I don't like that. And if I did that, it would have 100% saved me so much heartache. Okay? Anyway, so my criticisms of this are not about like J.K. Rowling. They're not even about transphobia. They're not about trans people. They're about successful and unsuccessful forms of protest. But given the nature of the internet, and given the danger that trans people face on a daily basis, emotions were high. And of course, people did not interpret it as that. And they interpreted it as another white cis ally who's shitting all over trans people because he wants to play a baby game so bad. I don't give a fuck about the baby game. I give a fuck about a successful version of a protest, because this was demonstrably a failure. And I hope that we can learn our lessons from this and then potentially do better next time. Obviously, me as a cis person will never be able to get across to a lot of trans people in this regard, because you automatically shut me out and you say, you're cis, you're just speaking over us, you don't care about trans people. While that's not true, I mean, I am cis and I am speaking over trans people. That is true. I'm not speaking over trans people as a cis person, but you could play literally another game. This is why you are K-pop girl in my chat as a 32-month subscriber and not fucking a Twitch streamer, okay? Playing any other game and raising money is great and fine. You are missing the point. Please, please. I've described this so many fucking times, man. It's not about playing any other game and raising money for causes. And I'm also going to be helping Juniper establish her own Celeste gameplay on Twitch. That's starting on Monday, okay? It's not about that. People have also, Juniper herself even, has made fun of me by fucking subtly throwing shade my way by being like, oh, it's capable. People are capable of raising money by not playing Hogwarts. It's not about that. The point is to play it and be a part of that discourse in a positive way, because the other way is just only going to lead to people being like, oh, fuck, you're the trans people again, going crazy. The game in and of itself is newsworthy. Do you understand? I did stream on Twitch, though. Honestly, I gave up. Okay, well, don't give up, okay? But, like, I didn't. And I think I know a thing or two about how this fucking space works. Can we please at least admit that? It's sad. I get why people don't understand how stream metas work. I get why people don't understand how the attention economy works, okay? But please, if you don't believe anything I'm saying, just there are things that I am demonstrably fucking good at, and that is understanding the attention economy and how to message certain things.
So much for the idea that capitalism rules all, or that capitalism always wins. It does win when it comes to money making, right? This game will continue to make money, but it doesn't win when it comes to the culture. I want to talk a little bit more about that in just a second. It's pretty amazing stuff. Speaking of woke companies, now your wireless company probably is spending money on a bunch of causes.
What the fuck? Oh my God, he's so... Wait, is this over? Is the story over? That's it? He just like...
Twitter for you. And two, be a veteran not for you. And two, protect against downside liabilities for the company. This is the entire HR department.
That's it? That's all he talked about? Hunter Biden? Okay, he goes in Hunter Biden. That's it. That's all he said? Okay, got it. I'm glad. Even if you're most frustrated while being met with no charitable, you'll still be able to be empathetic, and I appreciate you for that. Thank you. Okay, so whenever people say, yeah, thank you. Whenever people say like, oh, play a different game, it's like, dude, we've done charities. Michael in this chat has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for trans charities by watching like fucking, out of shape dudes drink breast milk and shit. Okay. Like there are many different ways of doing that. Over $300,000. I've helped out in those initiatives. Oh, this community's helped out in those initiatives. We've done this. Okay. That's not the point. The point is to change the public discourse that I knew was going to turn into, look at these trans losers who are fucking trying to do this like dumb boycott and being really mean to everyone. To trans people have found a very cool way to redirect the attention over to J.K. Rowling being a transphobic person by using her IP against her to raise millions of dollars of funds for Trans Lifeline, Trevor Project, and numerous other trans charities. That was the point. It doesn't matter though. For some people, if you don't automatically agree with their opinion, they won't listen to anything you have to say though. Yeah. Anyway, you don't owe me anything. Trans chatters, you don't owe me shit. Okay? Go ahead. If you want to fucking farm cloud, if you want to clip chimp this, I said trans losers, you can fucking use that. That's a great opportunity. You can be like, dude, look at him. He's like very clearly a bad guy. He hates trans people. You're not doing anything. You're just like, you're just not coming into a community where you could probably enjoy yourself without fear that like someone's going to try to fucking hunt you down and constantly debate your existence. And instead you're just living a lifetime of isolation, or at least like going back to your Discord server. I guess that's the only place. The most wild part is that without seeing chat, you would think you're shadowboxing a straw man. No, I'm not. No, man, not everyone who criticizes you is doing it for recognition or for clout. No, I know. I think there are, I understand the validity of people getting fucking upset. I understand why people are mad. I already recognize that. I'm a cis guy who is like, speaking over trans voices. That's automatically the headline for a lot of people. They're going to be misdirected. Okay. A lot of people are going to be angry. A lot of people are going to be angry. For example, I'm critical that you won't call my mom back. She's been real sad lately. Okay. Detornment, meaning rerouting, hijacking, and French, is a technique developed by the 1950s Letterists International and was later adapted by the Situationists International, that was defined in the SI's inaugural 1958 journal as the integration of present or past artistic productions into a superior construction of a milieu. In this sense, there can be no situationist painting or music, but only a situationist use of those means. In the more elementary sense, determinment within the old cultural spheres is a method of propaganda, a method in which reveals the wearing out and loss of importance of those spheres. It has been defined elsewhere as a turning expressions of the capitalist system and its media culture against itself, as when slogans and logos are turned against their advertisers or the political status quo. Determinant was prominently used to set up subversive political pranks, an influential tactic called situationist prank that was reprised by the punk movement in the late 1970s and inspired the culture jamming movement in the 1980s. Its opposite is recuperation, in which a radical ideas or social image of people who are viewed negatively are twisted, commodified, and absorbed in a more socially acceptable context. Anyway, I think people understand your turn it around idea, and I personally agree, and I think it could have been good, but at the same time, yeah, she's a billionaire, but continuously partaking in her IP is going to keep on validating her and her turfness. Well, if we already established that, like, there is no way to overcome that by just simply saying, don't play this game, don't consume the IP, because of how, like, important it is for so many fucking people. Not me, by the way. I mean, I read the books, I liked it, but, like, it's not that big of a fucking deal. I don't give a shit, okay? But for many people who have nothing in their lives, consumption, especially cultural consumption, is like very important to them. Okay? It's already a standalone thing. There are children on this planet that love the Harry Potter IP that have no fucking clue who J.K. Rowling is. Use the scary Terry argument. Why should we listen to J.K. saying my platform means people are transphobic when it comes to defeating our impact? Yeah, I think it's defeatist. We already had haters already bitching at you for raising funds for Turkey. Raising funds for trans causes would only fuel unhinged haters, even more especially because this is intense culture. Worse shit to the right. What? Oh, Maurice. Oh, what's up, dude? Fucking scared me. Normans will never even hear about this drama. Like, they're so far attached from this. They just like Harry Potter. Exactly. I know. Anyway, and to the people now who are saying, Hasan, you should play the game now anyway, it's over. The drops are probably going to be over. The discourse is already over. XQC already played it. Most content creators at the top have already played it and finished the game. It's done. It's too late. The ship has sailed. You know what I mean? It's super late. We spent the entire time arguing amongst ourselves, amongst allies, on what the fuck to do while everyone already played the game. And not a single one of you motherfuckers yelled at them because you know you have no power there. Because ultimately you kind of recognize how silly it is and also recognize that most people don't care. Most people do not care about, just trying to create a trans acceptable space, which personally, I obviously do care about that, but I don't think those are the boundaries to create a trans accepting sphere. Can we still do a fundraiser later, even though it won't be as effective? Of course. Yes, we will do, in time, we will do another fucking fundraiser. Of course we will. For a trans charity. Yeah, man, let's just ignore. Okay, dude. I'm gonna respond to this as charitably as possible. Okay? Yeah, man, let's just ignore the people asking for support and tell them how they should do a better good call. Yes, as a person who at least has a better understanding of how media works than you and the overwhelming majority of people who demonstrably pushed for a failed boycott. Yes, I'm not coming at this conversation. As like a cis person speaking over everyone because I know best. I'm coming at this conversation as a person who does know better, okay? Because even the most meaningful criticisms towards me were like, why doesn't he play a different game? Why doesn't he play a different game by trans creators? And I really appreciate that kind of feedback. I do, but I don't agree with it. Anyway, we'll never... Is this what you are calling ignoring it? 3 days of discourse during a natural disaster? Yeah, I can't ignore anything. You know me. I can't shut the fuck up like I already, mentioned. Oh, you're talking about the chatter. Support the death of Harry Potter doesn't save anyone. Harry Potter didn't invent race, realism, and fantasy, in the fantasy genre or race essentialism. At this point, you wouldn't grab any Normans, go into the the Hogwarts Legacy category to see the new game. It'd be purely drama Andy's trying to farm you for reactions. Yeah. Anyway. But have you considered that my counter is that you're speaking over trans voices and that therefore you're a piece of shit is a much more marketable position to accrue likes on Twitter? Because yes, that is true. And that's why a lot of people did it. Some people did it because they just saw other people doing it. Some people did it because they genuinely were upset. Some people did it because they've been hurt by other cis content creators before who have devalued them. And some people did it, and a lot of people did it, because they like getting Twitter clout. It makes them feel like they're appreciated. Some people did it for self-promo so they could sell their OnlyFans or their Substacks. And some people did it specifically because that kind of validation from other trans people makes you feel good. You're like, oh, that's a sense of community. It's an understandable desire. It's not weird. The funniest thing was seeing swerfs and turfs, by the way, also pile in on the drama. I saw this fucking turf who literally 3 tweets below were like saying, trans women are not women and rapists or whatever, literally calling me a rapist and saying I'm a brothel goer. That was kind of funny. It was a weird mixture of like unironic people who like hate one another, but they were united in their overarching hatred for me in that very moment. It's like, bro, what? But it doesn't matter. Usually swerfs, sex work exclusionary radical feminists are too stupid. So they have no way of comprehending anything. They're just literally acting out on like whatever they see and are hysterical, by the way. Yes, sex work exclusionary radical feminists are fucking hysterical. TERFs too. Literal different kinds of brain disease. Anyway, you saying you don't want a headache and managing to make every side mad during the charity stream on top of it is so funny to me. Yeah, I know. Okay. Saw this one person being like, you support him, you're an enemy of women and don't have any revolutionary thought. Yeah, except me. I have all the revolutionary thoughts because I'm tweeting instead of, doing exactly what Hasan is doing, but just less successful and on Twitter. That's the funniest part about Twitter discourse versus streamer drama. Like, everybody loves shitting on streamers, and to be fair, we are pathetic and we do usually deserve it. But it's pretty funny because, like, it's always other pathetic people who also are just less successful in probably an identical medium. Like, you tweet because you want to move on from Twitter to, like, a medium that is at least, like, a medium that will make you money, like, to generate revenue. Your goal is that. Let's be real. You're posting. You love shit posting. We all do. Okay? So you look to, like, streamers and you go, that guy's doing the same shit I'm doing. Why the fuck can't I do it? I have better ideas than he does. Not realizing the intricacies of what goes into it, which, by the way, still doesn't make it as difficult of a job as fucking roofers or whatever, obviously. But it literally is. It's just like, you're just constantly, endlessly chirping about how pathetic streamers are because you're also fucking pathetic, but you just don't make money off of that. That's it. And that's precisely why you want to turn that into something that is a money-making operation. You want to either make a Substack or you want to make a podcast. And no one fucking listens to your podcast, so you get more mad and hope that, like, maybe if I fucking put this streamer down again, I'll have that same crumb of attention, and then maybe I'll have some return customers on my podcast. It's not going to happen. I promise you. It could happen. You just have to change your tactics and make something that is entertaining, unique, interesting. Okay? Charlie and XU debated about the Darmon situation. Peace, bro. You look good, man. You look tight. What? Charlie and XU debated on the Darmon situation? What the fuck?
I expect myself to throw them under the bus when shit gets bad. I think it's called business. They're called business relationships.
But when you say it this way, do you realize, like, the more...
As a guy who works in a mine, I feel like a loser because you're killing it money-wise, so I don't know. I feel like a dumbass at times. What the fuck do you mean, dude? You're doing something that's, like, actually important, okay? I ain't doing shit, brother. Darmon debate. What is the problem? Then why the fuck is he still working for the Cringer guy? Argument. The dark side. What does that even mean?
You say things like this, the more it seems like you are legitimately having the same thought process as the people who end up using, like, sweatshops, slave labor, that kind of thing.
I'm just trying to cook you.
Oh, this is awesome. What the fuck? This was an hour conversation. It was fucking hilarious. Charlie said XU sounded like a sweatshop owner. Dude, I love this. This is my favorite genre. XUC debating people and taking it very seriously by, like, taking notes and shit is, like, some of my favorite genre, okay? But before we get to that, which is a wonderful conversation to approach, friend of the show, Jason Schreier, who I appreciate, who I think is a very good journalist, wrote a Bloomberg feature on Hogwarts Legacy being one of the biggest video games of this year, but for some fans and even people who made it, it's been difficult to reconcile enjoyment of the Harry Potter world with author J.K. Rowling's views on transgender people. Jason follows by saying, Rowling's comments in the summer of 2020 rattled a number of people working on Hogwarts Legacy. Some looked for new jobs, others stayed and tried to grapple with their ethical questions, and the company responded by making one NPC transgender, according to 4 people familiar. Although Rowling was not involved with the creation of the game, her creative agency, the Blair Partnership, played a big role. She still owns Harry Potter and benefits financially and culturally from sales, leaving some fans facing ethical dilemmas. Hogwarts Legacy is already breaking records on Twitch and topping pre-order charts. It's going to sell gangbusters. Ironic he said gangbusters, a word I like to use when describing situations like this as well, which I did earlier. But thanks to Rowling's incendiary comments over the past few years, this isn't an ordinary blockbuster launch. Full story. Fuck. Still transphobic, woke bait. Yes, dude, I am literally an enemy, okay? Yeah, I have no interest. If you think I'm transphobic, then yeah, okay, I'm just another transphobic content creator. Like, I don't care if you think that. Honestly, I don't. There are plenty of trans people in this community that know that that is not the case. You can just fucking cry about it all you want. I'm a foe, dude. Why is there more hate speech from your chat than on Twitter? No. Those are manifestations of Twitter in the chat. How do I bypass this paywall again, guys? Carefully. Okay, thanks. I don't know how to do the fucking 12. Can someone just link it to me? Wait, hold on. Not working. That 12-foot ladder shit never works for me either. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, no one is linking it to me. Fuck it. People calling you out for nothing is your villain origin story as an Akatsuki member. Yeah. Not gonna stop. People are gonna... I did turn JavaScript off on uBlock origin, look. Wait, what? I turned it on and it worked. What the fuck? That's weird. That was weird. How the fuck did that work? Okay. Harry Potter fans have been waiting more than a decade for a video game worthy of the blockbuster entertainment franchise dedicated following. They dreamed of that. We already covered all that. Pre-orders are busting. They're bussing. Rowling, this is good. because this also like will give you an accurate history of J.K. Rowling's like slight transphobia that turned into very overt, very obvious transphobia. Like, because no one becomes a gender critical person or a TERF overnight. They just like kind of dip their toes in the water. Like they have those ideas, they have those opinions, but they just like market test it a little bit. You know what I mean? They limit test it. They're like, ooh, let me put my tippy toes in the water. Just like talk about how like I think it's a little weird. We talk about how like, you know, I just care about the ethics of like female sports. I just think about like what it means to be a woman and how we should well define it, you know, that kind of thing, right? Of course, gender essentialism is the normative position. You are absolutely correct. This is something I talk about all the time, which is precisely why so many people are transphobic, because it literally is just the learned behavior, right? Especially in Western culture. It is a part of our existence. Like that's just what we're taught. And it's something very personal to us, especially when nothing else is. You know what I mean? You have cultural signifiers, what kind of content you consume, what kind of food you eat, you know, is it good, is it bad? And then you have gender. It's like one of the things that is very rigidly defined from birth, okay? Boys wear blue, girls wear pink. Now, has that always been the case historically? Of course not. Of course not. That has changed throughout time. But now, in the space that we exist in, that's how it is. We're learned that from a very early age, and that is precisely why so many people hold on to an idea that is outdated, especially even like the entry point into that idea of gender being socially constructed, like the clothes we wear on our backs. You know what I mean? Like how we present ourselves. The expectations are all a consequence of social construction. Yes, pink used to be a boy's color not that long ago. All right. So Rowling began to promulgate views that were widely perceived as transphobic in 2018, liking a post on Twitter that said trans women are men in dresses, and following certain commentators who described transgender women as men. Then, in the summer of 2020, I remember this vividly because everyone started saying it back then, and I was like, wait, is that the case for real? What's going on? And following certain commentators, then in the summer of 2020, Rowling wrote a 3,700-word essay on sex and gender issues. The moment that you do that, it's over. The brain rot has completely set in, okay? You've lost your fucking mind. She wrote a manifesto. Woo! Let's go! Hoo! Bitch! Fucking dumbass. Bloodsucker. I just did a murder on camera. All right. Saying she refused to bow down to a movement that I believe is doing demonstrable harm to women. In the months that followed, Rowling spoke out against Scottish legislation that would make it easier for people to change their gender on their birth certificate. Fans like Max Grosshandler, 25, whose sister is transgender, didn't know how to feel. It was a world-crushing experience for me, he said. I was just shocked and appalled. Whereas previous Harry Potter games were mostly mediocre movie tie-ins, Hogwarts Legacy is the first to be treated like a big-budget video game with high-end graphics and an original story. The technology has significantly evolved since the last Harry Potter console game came out in 2011. Early reviews have been glowing and certainly are the best for any Harry Potter game yet. For Grosshandler and tens of thousands of other fans on the Harry Potter game subreddit group he runs, it's the first real opportunity to immerse themselves in a detailed recreation of Hogwarts Castle. He's choking back his reservations and plans on buying and playing the game. Others are struggling to resist the temptation. Patrick, who asked to be identified only by his name, said he's a gay man who adored Harry Potter and saw the game as a childhood fantasy that he would love to play. But after what he perceived as a betrayal from the author, he is ambivalent. I'm leaning towards not spending any more money on products connected to J.K. Rowling anymore, he said in an email, and I don't feel superior because of it. Quite the opposite, it all feels very sad. What has she done to her own creation? I personally think statements like this actually give a false sense of hope to people who think boycotting and trying to create decentralized boycott movements like this, a false sense of hope. I'll admit. They're like, look, it's working. No, it's not. A representative for Rowling declined to comment. A spokesperson for Warner Bros. Said it has been a high priority. Murat! Topi kapat! Close the door! Motherfuckers using power tools in the background, bro. Like, come on, dog. I always tell him to close the door. He loves leaving the fucking door open when he's using power tools, dude. He loves that shit. He loves it. I don't care if it works on principle. Okay, well, like, literally reevaluate your principles then. What the fuck? That's such a bad take, because then what's the point of boycotting anything? Have you ever heard me say anything of the similar sort towards boycotting, divesting, and putting sanctions on the state of Israel? No. I'm a supporter of said movement. Why am I a supporter of that? Because it has tangible goals associated with it. If your tangible goal is literally just to state that, we just want no one to watch Harry Potter, you're never going to be able to achieve that tangible goal. I'm going to lose my mind. You can probably hear him again. Holy fuck. I'm going to go yell at him. Insane. Poor Marat. No, poor me. Okay. So Warner Brothers Games and Avalanche Software teams up. It's an important release for Warner Bros. And console makers Microsoft Core, Sony Group Core, which are relying on big games this year to goose spending after a thin release calendar in 2022. Development of Hogwarts Legacy first started in 2017 when Warner Bros. Acquired the Salt Lake City-based Avalanche Software, previous game studio, had been a part of Walt Disney, Disney Infinity, Toy Story, Cars. Those games I don't even know existed. From the start, the game's production was riddled with challenges according to people who worked there. Avalanche dealt with growing pains as it tried to pivot from mostly licensed kid games to a big-budget open-world role-playing game that was meant to appeal to adults. Departments that were used to operating in silos suddenly had to work closely together. Newcomers to the company, which was founded in 1995 and still the same owner, and many employees who have worked there for decades, found an entrenched culture that could be difficult to penetrate. Rowling's comments about transgender people also rattled some developers of Hogwarts Legacy. There's some HasanAbi heads that also worked on this game, by the way. You know? Oh my god, this guy keeps asking me about Fethullah Gülen. Fethullah Gülen'i de sikeyim, seni de sikeyim yani. Okay. Others pushed for the company to make a statement or otherwise acknowledge the controversy. Instead, Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment President David Haddad said during an all-employee hands meeting that Rowling was entitled to express her personal opinion. Shocking. Shocked to find out that the Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment president was like, yeah, no, she's allowed as a billionaire to be as transphobic as she wants to. Look at me, man. Look at me. My, oh my, incredibly shocked at that reality. The author wasn't involved in the game's development, but she still owns the Harry Potter license and will benefit from the sales. We already know that. Creative agency Blair Partnership is, playing a role in the development of the game. We already know that. Eventually, Avalanche management decided that Hogwarts Legacy needed to be more inclusive and respond to the controversy in one key way. After Rowling's comments in the summer of 2020, the studio decided to add transgender character to Hogwarts Legacy. According to 4 people familiar with the discussions, one of the game's non-playable characters, a bartender named Sinona Ryan, was now a trans woman. Sirona Ryan, not even Sinona. Sir Ryan, Anyway, it's a subtle nod to J.K. Rowling and the type of naming conventions she engages in. Another feature, the character creator allows players to mix and match voices, body types, and choice of dormitory. We wanted to make a game that felt welcoming and inviting to everyone, said Troy Leavitt, formerly a designer and a producer on Hogwarts Legacy. It was a way to extend the invitation a little wider so that more fans could see themselves represented in the wizarding world, he said in an email. Leavitt has faced controversy of his own. He resigned from Avalanche in 2021 after social media users discovered that he had made videos in support of Gamergate, a loose community of gamers who battle vehemently against journalists and developers for voicing their progressive views. Leavitt maintains that the movement was primarily about ethics and journalism. Oh God, he's still an ethics and journalism guy? At this day and age, I thought he would at least be like apologetic and be like, yeah, I was younger and stupid. That's insane. And said he believes the video game press has been ideologically captured. Oh, Jesus. Finally, you come across it finally. It doesn't matter. He left the company. What are you talking about? He was outed and left the company. It's pretty funny to think about this, though. Like, my man is still in the halcyon days of fucking being a groped up shouty. A representative for the Blair Partnership said in a statement that the agency was proud of the work Warner Bros. Games and Avalanche have done on this groundbreaking game and the part we have played in the development of it. And by the way, in some respects, it is groundbreaking. Doesn't matter if you get mad at it. Doesn't matter if you think that acknowledging that makes you transphobic or whatever. It truly is. It is video game IP, it is well-established IP that had a blockbuster success in the movie theaters. It is in the same vein as Spider-Man. Okay, it is. It is a collaborative effort between video game studios and movie studios, which is literally still a newer front in general. Okay, but how is that groundbreaking? It's industry defining, which means if they continue, they could potentially make even more big budget Hollywood productions turn into like successful mainstream video games. I think a lot of people forget that like this is still not like there is still no adequate method for this. There is still not adequate. There's still no like perfect method to take all these like big budget movies and then translate them to big budget video game productions. I want to make one other point, by the way. Even if this game had like insanely anti-trans narratives, that would make me want to play it more. not because I myself am like secretly transphobic or whatever, contrary to popular opinion of Twitter users, but because I do cultural commentary. So I would see it in the exact same vein as playing the single player missions of Call of Duty. Like, this is right up my fucking alley. We look at stuff that we criticize on a daily basis. I would go so far as say I probably watch more Fox News than I watch CNN. You know what I mean? And the reason for why I do that is because I like to look at what kind of propaganda that they're creating and you know, make jokes about it. It is a totally valid thing to do. Twitter can use this as an opportunity to clip and ship and go fucking crazy, but I don't care. This is literally what I do. Also, I would be the absolute worst secret conservative on the planet. Why the fuck would I have garnered the attention of perhaps the most annoying group of fucking liberals and leftists in order to secretly be racist or secretly be transphobic, when I could just be making infinitely more money with no one chirping at me from my side, I mean, by becoming a right-wing commentator. Anyway, yeah. Harry Potter is insane. One of the top 5 movie franchises in history. It's the 3rd largest. So, good luck. And that's only after Spider-Man was, like, I guess, treated as a separate franchise in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, too. You will become right-wing in 10 years, bro? Yeah, I know. They've been saying that for the past 10 years. I just become more left-wing for some reason. Plenty of things have been said of that sort. People say, I'll become more right-wing eventually, or I will, I will fall out of favor. I'll drop off. I know. It just hasn't happened yet, but it will one day, I'm sure. Avalanche's efforts at inclusivity in Hogwarts Legacy don't go far enough for some fans. Are fans boycotting Hogwarts Legacy? Jesse Earl, a transgender woman, writer, and YouTuber who has spoken out against Rowling, called for a boycott of the game. It says, we as a culture are going to continue to hold on to what she is making and allow her to have this presence in our society, Earl said in an interview. I think Jesse Earl is a wonderful person, okay? I think she's great. I hope everyone understands this. I can have a disagreement with someone over the most successful way to use the media momentum surrounding a product created by a trans person, okay? This does not make me transphobic. This does not make her wrong, okay? I just, I hope everyone understands that, all right? People should at least consider your opinion on how to hijack the algo to change the discourse. Someone who gets 40K viewers every day talking leftist politics on a gaming platform knows what they're talking about. Exactly. This is like literally right up my alley, which is why I'm so fucking personally annoyed, because everyone just keeps undermining like what I have accomplished and what I want to do with more momentum. Anyway, Earl, who grew up enamored of the series and even named her cat after a character from the book, said that renouncing Harry Potter has been painful. Like Jesse Earl has more of a personal association with Harry Potter than I fucking do. I don't give a shit about it that much. You know what I mean? I feel like this happened with another game recently. You are correct. Cyberpunk. That's right. We have forgotten all about it because Cyberpunk was unplayable, and the criticisms went away quickly when it was, again, unplayable. But yes, I had this exact same argument with outspoken trans members in my community about how Cyberpunk was transphobic. And I had pretty much the exact same conversation, that I should boycott Cyberpunk, that I should not play Cyberpunk, that Cyberpunk is a transphobic game, ultimately, okay? It wasn't. It literally wasn't. And a lot of people were very, very upset at me at the time. And guess what? Probably some of those people are in here right now that forgot that they said it was transphobic and are in here still. And I did play it. Exactly. I did. Why was it transphobic? It wasn't. It wasn't. There was a couple things in it where, are you gaslighting us? Wait, you think Cyberpunk is transphobic was not a conversation that we had? Huh. Let's take a look. Let's look. Is Cyberpunk 2077 transphobic? 3 years ago. 42K views. I don't think so.
To their internal beliefs. While I am sure the game will be very well made and beautiful, I am also sure I'm also sure it will miss on important themes of gender, transhumanism, etc. The only thing it may get right is the criticism of media and corporations, but that is really no leap considering who their target audience seems to be. Examples of egregious behavior. Cyberpunk Twitter account makes that don't assume they're...
But this isn't even the one I was thinking of. This is just the first one that came up. 0% prediction accuracy? What? What do you mean? You're telling me I have 100% prediction accuracy because I literally was fucking correct. I've always been correct. One thing you have to remember is, like, I was right and I was correct. And that's it. Okay? I was right. I was correct. At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. I'm correct about that too. And I'm correct when I tell you, if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Don't say Ukraine. I was not correct on that one. Please shut the fuck up about a prediction I made that was not correct. When I'm in the process of talking about how correct I am, do not remind people that I was incorrect that one time. Nobody ever lets me live that down. It's very annoying. Anyway, you can also get gifted a sub if you are lucky. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. But yeah, this Discourse pops up all the time. Anyway. Yeah.
Got released during E3. Cyberpunk 2077 Studio CD Projekt Red.
I've seen a shift in what people are saying. Maybe it's just people in my friend circle, but saying now that HP is anti-Semitic because of a lot of a plot involves goblins. So now it's anti-Semitism along transphobia. I still agree with you that boycotting a game is dumb and doesn't accomplish anything productive. But if people feel morally unsettled and then shouldn't play it, but that's true of any consumer item. I mean, I will never in a million years be like, you definitely have to consume it because trans people are telling you not to. I don't give a shit. I also don't think that anyone has, other than like the permanently online brain broken weird fucking Gamergate neck-bearded losers, are actually turning around and being like, I can't wait to buy this game now because it pisses off trans people. Like, that shit is so, no one cares. This is just a culture war blip, okay? It is a culture war blip on pretty much no normal person's radar. Okay, I'll tell you a story, okay? I will tell you a story. I was shocked, like a laser zapping me in the brain, and shivers went down my spine last night. Why? I'm on the basketball court. One of my favorite things to do is just like kind of dive into the lives of Normans when I go there, because there's a lot of fucking 9-to-5ers out there trying to blow steam. There's a lot of normal people that are playing basketball on the pickup courts. Everyone's the same. You're judged by how well you can ball, okay? One of my favorite things in that situation is to sometimes hear whatever fucking people are talking about, okay? Not eavesdropping, not being creepy. I just want to get a better assessment of what's going on. I also like to communicate with these people as well. It's like, I feel it, like I see it as like, you know, it's a weird way to look at it, but almost like market research. And one of the dudes that I was playing ball with, some fucking Indiana dude, okay? They were talking about like what films they've been watching. One of the guys said to the other, two just like the most normal looking white guys, they looked identical to one another from fucking Indiana. One of the dudes was asking the other one, have you watched any films lately? And the guy said, yeah, I watched a documentary actually. It was pretty good. And I was like, ooh, I wonder what documentary you watched. I'm like eavesdropping a little bit. I'm being creepy. Okay? Because I thought like maybe these guys are like wannabe actors or something. Who knows? Okay? And he talked about the Tinder swindler, dude. So as far as normal people and like being up to date with like cultural relevancy or an understanding of like what's popping right now, we are so far removed from the motherfucking Normans, dude, okay? That's literally such an old documentary at this point that like you probably forgot about it, okay? It's like a year old. But it feels like it was ages ago. Why? Because we are at the forefront of like information processing, where it's just like being fucking hit and just pumped into our fucking brains every goddamn second. But Normans are out there being like, yeah, I watched a new documentary that was sick. It's like about a guy who like scammed a bunch of women on Tinder. It's fucking fire, actually. Okay? So that's where motherfuckers are when they're not extremely online. Do you understand? That's where people are. So if you were to fucking pull someone aside at Universal Studios and go, you know J.K. Rowling's a fucking TERF and hates trans people, they'd be like, what language are you speaking to me right now? Please get away from me unless you are trying to cast a new spell that I did not know about, that wasn't in the books or something. Explain to me what the spell is or move away, okay? That's the point. We always think that like the things that we're talking about right now are super culturally relevant. They're like so important. Everyone's thinking about these things and making assessments off of that. They're making deliberate choices to be like, I want to be transphobic. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't want to make a safe space for trans people by purchasing this fucking piece of content. Like, dude, it's not even remotely relevant. Even on the other side, when people say, it's the Barbara Streisand effect. They just Streisand affected Harry Potter. I'm like, dude, no, look at this. You can't Streisand affect the Bible. You can't Streisand effect Adolf Hitler, okay? These are things that are like permanently fucking a part of our existence and consciousness, okay? There is no such thing. Stop it. Stop over analyzing and overvaluing your place in the consciousness. You are nothing but a blip on the fucking radar. You can't, in any meaningful way, change the direction of IP that is this popular, okay? You can't Streisand effect it and get more people to go out and purchase it. And you can't do the opposite. It's just the moment that you think that, you are unfortunately extremely online. I saw this argument on LSF threads. People being like, oh, dude, that's why I think people are just like, more people are buying it. Like, no, there is no one way or the other on this. It is completely outside of your control, okay? Yeah, it's like when racists try to boycott the NFL. Exactly. You understand? What the fuck? How did you find this? This is unlisted.
Correspondences with that are good characters, well-written characters, and on top of that, there's some negative depictions of trans people as well, of course, as there is of all different marginalized identities. Then, yes, it is, I guess, transphobic. They get your gender through your voice, a known transphobic trope, dude. First of all, from what I understand, they changed that. They fixed it. So what the fuck are you still complaining about? Again, and secondly, even if it was originally a fucking misstep, even if it was originally a fucking problem, okay? Even if it was originally a problem, understand? It's still an oversight problem, okay? It's still a fucking oversight problem where they built two fucking entire different like plot lines. It's like saying it is biased against pansexuals. Okay, the game is biased against pansexuals because there's only the main character can be bisexual or pansexual, but the main character is locked into romance options, like with someone like Judy, for example, who only fucks you if you are a girl, or someone like River, who only fucks you if you are a girl, and unfortunately, Pan Am doesn't fuck you if you are a girl. Like
Is that the same room you're in now? No. Okay, as a community, if something like this happens again in the future, can we agree to immediately support Hasan by critically consuming, exploring problematic content like how we do with COD? This community always will inevitably, understand my perspective on it. It's just you are never going to be able to silence the outside weirdos. That's it. Anyway, that Trump cutout I sold for charity. Making up states for the sake of your basketball story is a new low. Yeah, Indiana does not exist. I can't believe you caught it. Okay, let's finish this. Sorry. My ideal world is that we just stop talking about her, stop talking about the game, stop talking about Harry Potter, Earl said. If you buy the game, I'm not telling you you're a transphobe or an anti-trans bigot, but I would question whether you're an ally. Conflicted feelings have prompted some fans to agree to only buy the game secondhand. What are we going to do about liberals, man? What are we going to do about libs? Oh, maybe I could just buy it secondhand. It's like, why? Why are you making like just buy it. Just fucking buy it. You're a blip in the goddamn radar. If you want to buy it that bad, or pirate it. Like, I don't get it. Others like 28-year-old Ryan Mills said they plan to match every dollar they spend on Hogwarts Legacy with a donation to the Trevor Project, a nonprofit organization that offers mental health support to the LGBT youth. Life is short and sucky. I think this game is just going to make me happy, make me feel warm for a while like I did when I was a kid, said Mills. If the early buzz is any indication, the calls for boycotts may not be as effective as Earl and other activists had hoped. I think pre-orders have been particularly strong because it's launching at a time when there has been a vacuum of major releases of big budget games, said Pierce Harding Rolls, a research director at gaming and media analytics firm Ampere Analysis. The budget for Hogwarts Legacy won't have been small, so WBIE has taken significant risk in funding the title, but it looks like that is about to pay off. On Tuesday, Hogwarts Legacy had more than 1.2 million concurrent viewers on the video game site Twitch, breaking the record for most one-day viewers of a single-player game. Hogwarts Legacy is also on pre-order sold 10 million copies when Elden Ring, had sold 13 million copies in the first month after release. So we're talking pre-releases at 10 million. So get ready for a wave, okay? Get ready for a fucking wave. It's going to grow even further. You'll never see terminally online weirdos telling you to boycott COD because many of those affected don't have the time or resources to be terminally online radlibs. So you won't hear that obnoxious self-obsessed argument that you should just listen to X marginalized group and they feel that they've been harmed by X commodity. Yeah, because like they're not in the fucking first world, dog. That's it. Can you imagine some fucking kid in Afghanistan literally being like, dog, you gotta stop playing Call of Duty. You are normalizing American imperialists. Every dollar that you spend against this American warfare propaganda, even though you are probably one of the loudest anti-imperialist voices in the United States of America, I am going to decide now that you are unironically promoting imperialist propaganda by playing Call of Duty. That'd be so funny. It's a product. It's a byproduct of being like living in the first world. By the way, that does not delegitimize the harm that trans people are experiencing in society. Please do not misunderstand me. Okay? COD actually employs Oliver North, unironically a war criminal, and literally nobody makes this argument. Exactly. Anyway, so I understand a normal person buying HP, but what about big streamers who buy it or take sponsorships? Are they trying to delegitimize trans people being harmed? Dude, you know what my opinion on this matter is. I don't give a fuck. No, that's kind of the main point of contention. That's why everyone's so mad at me for saying that. Like, no, it's so silly. Anyway. Rowling, meanwhile, continues to make incendiary comments. Last week, she posted a tweet about excluding women from women's prisons because they've got penises, which makes Hogwarts Legacy feel markedly different than any other blockbuster video game launch. For some people, it's been hard to discuss without a butt attached. That's the thing. She's like so perfectly conditioned as a billionaire living in Turf Island where like they shoot you if you're not transphobic, okay? And also like she's removed enough from the IP that like it doesn't mire the creation of the product, but still she benefits from it. At this point, it's like J.K. Rowling trying to associate her with product that she's not even making more than the other way around. Does that make sense? Yeah, they don't shoot you, sorry. They stab you. They give you a proper shanking if you're not fucking transphobic, yeah? Bro, she has terminally online brain too. You chatters are bad as her. Yeah, of course. These activists aren't reaching normies IRL, only online. It's the only space they know, and they think it's everything. I don't disagree with the premise of a boycott, but also it's an unwinnable fight. Please do something else. Yeah, that's why I think my words were like almost more offensive than actually playing the fucking game for a lot of people, because they not only felt betrayed by maybe someone who they perceived as like a cis ally, but also on top of that, I was right. That's it. That's the reason why they were more mad. And there's more discourse around what I said than like fucking XQC playing it. You know what I mean? Because you know you can't do anything about XQC playing it. He's going to play it. And there's no problem with him playing it too. Let's be real. I don't have an issue with it. Anyway. You also said posting is not praxis, which is the worst thing you can say. I know. Yes. Which is why people did not want to fucking see that as like a criticism launched against extremely online people, but instead a criticism launched against trans people. You know what I mean? Which is like, no, I'm, you know, I know the two go hand in hand sometimes, but like, I'm talking about people who think that they're doing the right thing by posting. We are going to talk about anti-trans legislation right after this, actually, because Matt Walsh got fucking eviscerated by Tennessee. Okay. Harding Rolls said he doesn't expect Rowling's comments to have much of an impact on the game's commercial performance. Potential customers will likely fall into three camps: people who won't buy the game due to Rowling, people who aren't aware of Rowling's comments, and people who are aware but will buy the game regardless. I'm expecting the last two of those to be a big enough majority to drive the game to strong sales. Reviews of Hogwarts Legacy have mostly been positive, although several have addressed the Rowling controversy. A lengthy blurb in the middle of an otherwise glowing review by IGN noted that as critics, our job is to answer the question of whether or not we find Hogwarts Legacy to be fun to play and why. Whether it's ethical to play is a separate but still very important question. But the reviewer also declared that Hogwarts Legacy is the Harry Potter RPG I've always wanted to play. Oh, Jesus Christ. Some who disagree with Rowling's views... Some who disagree with Rowling's views are attempting to reclaim the Harry Potter franchise for transgender fans. Moon, who grew up loving Harry Potter and asked online only to be identified by his first name, is a moderator for a small Hogwarts Legacy Discord server. He's transgender, and he said he sympathizes with the people who abandoned the franchise or boycotted the game, but he said it's almost impossible to make millions end their relationship with something they like. Instead, Moon figured he could help build a positive community for those who choose to play Hogwarts Legacy, no matter how they identify. Next best thing we can do is spread awareness from the inside, he said. I think we need to find where Moon is, dox him, and fucking send hate his way immediately. I'm just kidding, of course. I'm making a joke. Twitch posted about you? Yeah.
moment to talk about something else that's very important to us here. Now, the players are playing for $250,000 in charity, and it's really important to the players here, but we also want to take a moment to shout out Hasan. Hasan was supposed to play in the Streamer Bowl, but decided to back out at the last moment to try and continue to support the efforts of helping the recovery in the earthquake aftermaths in Turkey and Syria. He decided to step out. He tweeted about this a little bit ago, saying, "I've made the decision to stay home and continue to fundraise for Turkey instead of attending the Streamer Bowl in Arizona today. Apologies to Austin Eckler and everyone else involved. I hope everyone has fun. I felt bad leaving in the middle of this important moment." Obviously, we totally understand, and there is no apology necessary. We fully support what Hasan is doing in his efforts during this horrible tragedy. If you would like to help contribute to those efforts, please search hashtag HasanAbi for Turkey, Syria Earthquakes Fund. That's HasanAbi
such an
for
insane
Syria,
hashtag.
for
We
Turkey,
gotta fix
Syria,
that
Earthquakes
next
Fund.
time.
Turkey, then Syria, folks.
Damn,
We'll be right
that's
back. But before we
That's my co-pilot, dude. How the fuck can anyone hate you after this week? What the fuck, dude? Trust me, they will. Dude, you're crazy. Don't worry, people will find a way always. Still don't understand why he has to be such an asshole. I work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I was trying to have fun playing basketball and talk about my favorite Netflix docuseries. Shut the fuck up.